Bird Brains, and welcome to episode 4 of the Ultimate Ultra Build Series. In the car right now with Ms. Bird. I'm sorry it's kind of dark. It's only 6 o'clock, but it is nasty outside.
Grody, man.
But the day is finally here, guys. I've been waiting over a month for these parts. The parts are finally done from powder coating. So we're headed over right now to Gtz Powder Coating. Guys, I have seen these wheels. I did not think I was gonna be able to outdo myself on the dyno, but after seeing how damn good these wheels look, it's just might be possible. I'm gonna hype these up because I know it's worth the hype. Let's go over to GTZ.
Yeah, man.
Oh, too spicy.
Yeah, red and black. I put this that way when you put it down, it doesn't. Look at that's that one.
So clean.
And here's the other one. Did it all by hand, man.
Was it as easy as you thought it'd be?
I was a little. My patience, I'm happy I did it, man.
Yeah.
So it's the same red on the outside and then black on the inside.
Nice.
Oh.
Here's that one.
I was afraid that red was gonna be too loud, but I feel like it's just right.
Yeah, I'll let you put that over. Okay, I should give you the box.
Oh. I told you they were overhyped.
I was like, you lost black. One little red part right here. Oh yeah. It's a glossy red that I normally use a lot, so
Yeah.
I was like, he wants a glossy red, so let me shoot that one.
Hell yeah.
And this is just
More black.
more black, and then the box right there is
More black.
More black. And then in there, more black.
All the parts.
So I have all these extra. What I seen some guys do on Harley wheels is, you see this part right here. So this part right here, these two little lips.
Yeah.
They keep the lips and this all the same color.
Yeah.
But I was like,
Had a lot of people suggest that too. I was like,
yeah, I was like, you know what? I was like, you know what? Let me see how this comes out. So now that I did this, I'm like, hell yeah.
I feel like how it has the black kind of eating in, it just makes the wheel look so much more aggressive.
I was like, if we did this red, it might draw attention from the black.
Yeah, I agree.
And if we just keep it just a solid red all the way around, the customer, not customer, but anybody will see the gloss black more.
I agree.
It's a little deeper,
Yeah.
but it's very close.
That's good. Guys, these wheels are stupid.
Awesome sauce.
The new,
Coolness, dude. Looking forward to seeing it all put back together.
yeah, me too. Oh man, guys, these parts look so good. So, I just told him, get the red as close to the Camaro as possible. Pretty damn close if you ask me. Oh man, it's gonna look so freaking good. Yeah. So, I know what you're thinking, and I'm thinking the same thing. Let's get some freaking parts on this bike. Well, I'm not gonna be working on it tonight. It's already like 9, 10 o'clock, but me and Ms. Bird are gonna be working on it in about 3 seconds. And we're back. Ms. Bird is actually inside. She's just finishing up some stuff right now. We're gonna be working on the bike here pretty shortly, but as you can see, this garage is a disaster. So I'm gonna take a brief 10-second time lapse and get this garage picked up. Ah, that's better. Got Ms. Bird in the house now. Oh, I never showed you guys these stools, did I? As you know, this channel is sponsored by Get Lowered, GetLoweredCycles.com. And each year they send me like a little Christmas present, and this was my Christmas present this year. I got not one, but 2 Drag Specialties garage tools. I had painter's tape on this, that's why there's gunk on it, but they're pretty nice. And they also sent me a Drag Specialties garage mat, which you can see is already getting use. So thank you, Get Lowered, I appreciate it, and they're already being used. So Miss Bird just asked me, do we have a game plan today? And basically the game plan is going to be get into these boxes of parts and put on whatever we can. We're probably gonna be doing a lot of little stuff this episode, and then the big stuff like tires, wheels, forks, all that big stuff is going to be coming next episode, because we got to get all that stuff not only put on, but we got to get new shocks put together, tires on wheels, all that big stuff. So today we're gonna be focusing on little things like saddlebags, getting the saddlebags put back together. And also one thing I need to do today is also get the old exhaust hood back on. If you missed last episode, we were originally gonna have that powder coated, but that big box right there is our stage one from another one of our sponsors, Vance and Hines. So we're basically gonna be putting that back on. That way we can dyno the bike to get complete stock numbers, and then we're gonna be dynoing the bike with exhaust and intake, and then a third time with exhaust, intake, and a tune. So you're able to see kind of the step up of what each part does. But other than that, really no game plan today besides get as much done as possible. So cue the music. About to zoom in on it so you see
I know you were.
how long you'd spin it.
You went so fast for that zoom. You were like, oh.
So we got shop dogs, in case you didn't see that. We got the saddlebag, mount protector, and the fender strut covers on. Now we're gonna go to the trunk mounting hardware, but I had about 19,000 comments asking if I was gonna be doing a quick disconnect. Yes, I am doing a quick disconnect. This is just a black 4-point harness off of Amazon. I don't even know the brand, but I'll link it down in the description in case you want one like this. But if you don't know, you also need some docking hardware for the trunk, and that is actually what is in this wrap here. As you can see, it has been powder coated red. This was of course not red when we got it. We just had it powder coated. I think it was black before. But I just sent off to parts to get powder coated, and then all we'll have to do is put the hardware back on the back here, and it will mount up like so. But that's probably gonna be our next piece. I'm over here.
Sorry.
That's gonna be the next piece we do, is get the trunk. Maybe not do the trunk just yet, since we're not really gonna be able to put it back on the bike with it on this stand. So I might just do the docking hardware and then mount this to the trunk. And then I'm gonna get the saddlebags put back together. So. Let's get to work. quick little update. It might not have been long on the video, but we've been working for probably over an hour since the last update, so I just want to check in with you guys what we're encountering. So we were gonna do the horn. The problem is we cannot find this bolt. I think it went to powder coating, but he doesn't remember seeing a bolt or a nut. It's actually a nut. And I don't remember putting it in the box, but I also don't remember where else I would have put it. It's not in the horn bag, it's not anywhere. I thought I put it in the box to go to powder coating because I remember Ken saying something along the lines of, remember how much it stuck out in the Dyna, and I remembered how bad that chrome stuck out on the black Dyna motor. So I remember making the decision to powder coat it. Now whether it made it in the box, or whether it made it back from powder coating, or whether it just didn't get put in a bag, there's no way to tell. So I asked Gtz if he could look around. He said he will. If not, I'll probably just buy a black bolt or nut because it's probably going to be less of a hassle. But then we also had one part, this actually connects, this is what connects to the shifter rod. So we actually got the shifter on. That was pretty much no issue. I had a little bit of powder in the threads, but that was easy. And then we were able to clear the powder out of the teeth on this one. And it's not, I mean, it's not a ton, guys. Like it really, let me see if I can actually get it to focus here. I don't know how well you can see it, but it's literally just a little freaking touch of powder in those teeth. But those teeth are so fine, there's so many of them, and it's such a hard area to get into. I was able to clear a lot of the powder on those, on the actual shifter portion, because I was able to take the actual rod that the teeth are on and kind of punch it through and knock out some of that powder. But on the back end, it actually goes into the transmission, so there's no way for me to pull that out and kind of use that as a battering ram to get that powder out. So I think this piece will probably have to go back to powder coating and get sandblasted and done again. But that would be super unfortunate because without that, the bike can't run because that's kind of how you shift. So that's super unfortunate. That might hold us up a little bit more, but we're gonna power on, see what else we can get done on the bike. Right now we're gonna focus on the exhaust just because that's one thing that has to go back on, and then we'll get to some of the other smaller parts. So I just got the saddlebags put back together. That was actually a little bit harder than I thought it was, but as you can see, we've got the black metal piece around the edge now, as well as the red levers. I will say, seeing it right now, just compared to the lift, this red does not look the same on camera as it does in person. On camera, it looks a lot brighter. So imagine this like 4 or 5 shades darker. It's quite a big difference. So got the saddlebags working. And this actually brought me to a point where I'm going to introduce another sponsor for the build. You've seen their logo popping up in the beginning for a while now, but not a lot of people know about these. Both Roadblock and Uncle Ken rock these products as well, but these products are SkullEaze Saddlebag Insert. So SIR stands for Saddlebag Insert Reflector Kit. As you can see, that's me. They can do pretty much any color, any font, any words. I mean, to a certain extent, it's not gonna, you're not gonna be able to fit, you know, a novel on there, but they're freaking awesome. Like I said, both Roadblock and Uncle Ken. Uncle Ken, I believe, was the first kid at Roadblock, or maybe, I don't know. But both of them have ordered from these guys, and both of them have been extremely happy. So if you'd like to get your own, here is the info, guys. What you're seeing here, the SkullEaze Mark Tony on Facebook, that's the only online presence that this guy has. There's no website or anything like that, and he still turns a lot of products, so that should tell you how good these products are. And also, as you can see here, he doesn't do just these saddlebag insert. He also does airbrushing, on derby covers, point, timing, horn covers, etc. He also sells some pretty badass helmet locks that go onto your crash bar. So like I said, if you want to get your own set of saddlebag insert reflectors, go ahead and hit him up on Facebook and let him know Biking Bird sent you. All right guys, so a little bit of change of plans. We have made literally 5% of the progress, maybe 20% of the progress that I wanted to make tonight. So I'm gonna be calling an audible. So the reason that it's taking so long is, one, we had some issue with the powder coat, but that's not really what's holding us back. But with the bike not being up on the lift, everything is taking so much longer because not only are we having to be down on the ground, which of course sucks. I mean, most of you guys aren't working with lifts, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. But with having this thing on this stand, these straps are just getting in the way of everything. And I was wanting to get all the brake stuff done, but as you can see with the jack right there, it's just everything's in the way. Plus with these lowers are not attached to anything because the crash bar got powder coated. So instead what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna I'm gonna swip these episodes, and I'm gonna have Super Dave kind of work his magic first, get the bike on wheels and with forks. That way we can get the bike up on the lift, and then we can actually get to work on the stuff that we can actually do. So we're gonna do a couple more things, but then we're gonna go ahead and cut to another day, but we're gonna keep it on this episode, so don't worry. But yeah, we're gonna do a couple more things, and then we'll see you guys in the next day. All right guys, we're back for day 2 here with Team Bradley and Uncle Ken. Vape Nash. And we got the parts here, got the rest of the parts in the back. Right now we're actually headed over to Harley first to pick up some fork seals, and then after that we're gonna be heading over to Super Dave's shop to watch him work.
We got a whole web up here. Jesus Christ, clean your rock.
So we are here at Extreme Power Sports. This is where Super Dave works. I know some of you guys were already asking, hey, if I can support Super Dave, where do I go? Now you know. Extreme Power Sports on the corner of 1604 and Judson here in San Antonio, Texas. There's the man, the myth, and the legend.
Fake ass carbon fiber.
Yep. It's funny because I've always been told that only Harleys break down, but I'm seeing a lot of non-Harleys in here. That's weird.
Is it, bro? It's mostly jab crap.
Wrapped up here at Super Dave's shop. We're actually gonna be heading back to my garage because I'm a genius and forgot the fork blowers. So got the wheels on, y'all saw that. Got the wheels pressed with the bearings, tires, all that good stuff. Super Dave's actually getting some tools right now. He's actually off work anyway, so it's not like he's leaving work to come help me. But we're gonna go back to the garage and finish with the forks. Alright guys, welcome back. Time to do a little update. It's been a while since I talked to you guys last. It's actually a different day. I don't know if you noticed that, but once we got back from the shop last night, we realized we didn't have enough time to get what we needed to get done before we had dinner plans. So it's the next morning, it's Sunday morning. Super Dave, as you saw, came over. We've got the shocks put together. Looking real nice. It really just completely changes the look of the front end with the black forks. In case you guys didn't see, these are the Lengends Axio front suspension. Lengends, of course, is sponsoring not only this build, but they're actually sponsoring the channel from now on. So I'm actually a Lengends sponsored rider that falls under their sponsored rider program. So you'll be seeing a lot more Lengends stuff here on the channel. They are also the ones supplying the suspension for the Dyna. I don't know if I mentioned that on this build series, but the issue we've run into now, we got the we were working on the rotors, and also we did paint the tires. We did that off camera just because you've seen it like 5 times now. We had an issue with the threading on one of the rotor bolts. I don't think that one was a powder coat issue. I think that one was more of just it messed up when we were taking it out, or when I was taking it out. And we're gonna just have to run a tap through it. Unfortunately, I do not have the tap, so Super Dave is actually right now running back to the shop to get his tap and die set, which of course is gonna be much better than mine. And after that, we're gonna continue tackling the front end. My goal for today is to get this bike rolling. Now, of course, we are not going to be able to get it running. I mean, it will run, but we're not gonna be able to ride it because we did end up having to send one of the shift linkages. I don't know if I'm using the correct term. The thing that holds the shift linkage on the transmission side. We could not get it to thread because those teeth are so fine, and there was just a little bit of powder on there, and we just were not able to make it work. So sending that back to Gtz, he's going to redo it for us very quickly. That way we can continue on with this build. But goal for today is to get the bike rolling, and then hopefully back up on the lift to do the rest of the stuff. But as I wait for Dave, I'm gonna go ahead and work on the back wheel, get that rotor on, and then once he gets back, we're gonna start tackling the front end again. But while I'm waiting for Dave, I'm not, of course, not just gonna sit here and twiddle my thumbs. I'm actually gonna be working on these puppies. There's 2 of them, I'm just holding one of them. This is from a company called twowheelgrills.com. twowheelgrills.com. I'll include a link in the description, as always, to all the products, the suspension, everything you're seeing on this entire build in the description, as well as on my website, www.bikeandbird.com. What these do is these will actually fill this gap right here. As you can see, they are slightly larger than the spot here. What we do is we pretty much press this in, so these tabs will actually dig into the plastic and hold. You do not have to glue it or weld it or anything like that. No bolts, no screws. It's hold on purely by these tabs around the edge, and that will go on both sides of the headlight. Two Wheel Grills was nice to send these out for free. They did not send these in red. They were actually nice enough to send me them in raw, so they had no powder coat. You can get them in chrome or black. They have options for a lot of bikes, Harleys and sport bikes. They do a lot of stuff for sport bikes. They're actually just now kind of tiptoeing into the Harley world. So if you want some grills like this, like I said, link down in the description. So we've got a small issue on our hands. So once we got the wheel back on, we realized that when we tightened the forks or the axle bolts, the brakes were not operating as they should. And we basically deduced that the tolerance was thrown off on the brakes because of the powder coat. Because what was now bare metal to bare metal is now bare metal, powder coat, bare metal. If it was just maybe one thing of powder coat, we might have been fine, but break tolerances are only good to about 1/16 of an inch. So probably more than 1/16 of an inch of powder coat when you consider both parts. So right now what I'm doing is taking a Dremel and sanding down the powder off of the bolts, or the area where the bolts go in through the calipers, as well as where the axles hit, and then I will also be doing the wheels. So I'm gonna get pretty much every powder coat to where it's back to just metal on metal, and from then our tolerances should be good and we should be able to bolt the wheel back on. So about an hour and a half has passed. That's how long it took us to get all this stuff kind of put together. I had to run to the store to get more sanding bands for the Dremel. While I was gone, you guys saw Super Dave put up back on the crash bar and most of the lowers. And now we're putting the rotors back on for round 2. Hopefully that's the last time that we have to take that wheel off. Alright guys, so I'm gonna have to go ahead and call it an episode for today. We're not able to solve our front wheel issue. We pretty much just ran out of time to troubleshoot it. We're able to get both the front and rear rotors on and flush, but something's just not right. And I couldn't figure it out, Dave couldn't figure it out, his buddy John could not figure it out. So we're just gonna have to sleep on this one. I did not get nearly as much done today as I would have hoped. My goal was to have this bike on its wheels and ready to put them on the lift, and as you can see, nowhere close. But sometimes that's just how builds go. This is the most defeated I felt on a build in my short bike building career, but sometimes stuff just doesn't go to plan. Good news for you guys though, because that just means more episodes, more content. But if you like this video, please go ahead and hit that like button. If you haven't already, go ahead and punch that subscribe button to see if we're able to get ourselves out of this mess. And as always, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time.